Well, Bob Dylan calls him one of his secret heroes. His musical tools of trade include everything from the banjo to a bell plate, piano to a musical saw. And then there's that trademark gravelly voice. And those film roles. I'm talking about American singer-songwriter Tom Waits. After 3 decades and 20 albums, he's back with a new 3D set. It's titled Orphans, Brawlers, Ballers and Bastards. And if you were listening last week, you'd know that Orphans, Brawlers, Ballers and Bastards was our feature album of the week. Well, yesterday, I spoke to the man himself. The 3D set features more than 50 songs, many of them new, and I began by asking Tom Waits whether he thought he'd ever run out of songs. I've got to say, I've done a lot of interviews in my life, but this was one of the strangest. Actually, mercurial might be a better description.
Kids really write the best songs, and they write 100 a day, and they throw them away and get new ones, and don't even remember the ones they wrote. So we're the ones that get all precious about it, thinking they need to be recorded. But running out of them, I don't think we're going to run out of them. I think I probably got too damn many of them as it is, and I probably ought to get rid of some. But I guess that's just normal to want to save something, preserve it in some way. Mostly I was just saving them from doom, because I don't really have an archive or anything. I was trying to keep them from winding up in a drawer with hair oil and playing cards and watches. And I was trying to keep them all in one place before I lost them.
I read a quote of yours when I was researching for this interview where you described the songs as scared, mean, orphan songs of rapture and melancholy, songs that grew up hard, songs of dubious origin, rescued from a cruel fate.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
That is a good one, but it sounds like for you these songs have a personality, they have an identity.
Well, some of them are brand new, and some of them were actually, from other projects, like a compilation album or written for a film that never came out, or something just was recorded out in the garage. So it's like the stuff that's in the margins. But I think it all hangs together pretty good for me, anyway.
Well, I think it hangs together pretty well too, and you've brought it together under these three, the subtitle of Brawlers, Ballers and Bastards. That's how you've organised the tracks. If you listen to the 3 tracks, it's like a soundtrack for a life. It's got that great mix, great spread.
I don't know. The way I look at it, Fran, is that probably most people's songs fit comfortably into one of these categories or another. Everybody's got songs that are bastards, and songs that are brawlers, and songs that are ballers. Some songs don't really have a category, so then I would stick them over there in the bastards, I guess.
Tom, I mean, the standout thing, well, there's lots of standout things about you and your career, but obviously over the 3 decades, you've evaded and avoided any kind of connection to the world of pop music. I noticed one esteemed American critic, Robert Hilburn, describes you as clearly one of the most important figures of the modern pop era. Does it seem strange to you to even be included in a phrase like the modern pop era?
I don't know where I fit into the whole thing, but obviously I fit in somewhere. They found a category for me at the record store, so I guess I'm miscellaneous.
You fit in lots of places. Years before we were talking about media convergence, you were interested in other mediums, books, films, stage. What was the attraction for you of breaking out, of not just being a musician, a recording artist?
Gee, I don't know. I guess when you make a record, it's a big deal. But then you look around you and you say, well, okay, now I'm one of millions of people who made records, so you need to somehow further distinguish yourself and to remain in some way newsworthy. Hey, how about those topless newscasters they've got in Russia now?
I haven't seen the Russian ones, but I used to watch, what was the one that came out of the US, the topless news service? That was very funny.
Well, we all know they've been bottomless for years. They haven't been wearing pants since the 50s. But apparently it's quite a phenomenon in Russia, as their ratings were way down, and they've got these topless newscasters. Now everybody watches the news.
Well, that's one way to get the country fully informed, I guess.
I agree.
When you went into acting, I think your first film was the Jim Jarmusch movie Down by Law. What made you decide to cross that threshold? Was it just, as you said before, just the challenge of trying something new, to move from writing for music for film to starring in the movies?
I don't know. He was a buddy of mine. He asked me if I'd be in it, and I said, "Get the money up, Jim. I'll think about it." It was just a chance to work with a lot of really great people. And even though I didn't really know what I was doing, at least I had a good time.
Tom, you, ahead of the release of Orphans, you toured the US as a prelude to the release. Your shows are very orchestrated. The quote I've read is part distorted vaudeville, part big top, part piano bar and part stand-up.
No kidding.
After so long in the business, why do you still tour? A lot of people give it up after a while.
I don't know.
It's a hard grind touring.
Why tour?
Yeah.
The first guy that ever ate a tomato, there were 100,000 people came to watch because everyone thought they were poisonous. And but what it was that they'd been eating tomatoes off lead plates, and they're actually getting lead poisoning from eating the tomatoes. And people were going into kind of a state of suspended animation, and everyone thought they were dead. So people were at this time being buried alive. As they were noticing when they dug them up, they found scratch marks on the roof of their coffin. So they passed a law that said everyone who's buried has to have a string wrapped around their wrist and has to run up the roof of the coffin and over the branch of a tree, and you have to put a bell on the end of that string. So in the event that someone is buried alive, they'll be able to ring the bell. And that's where the expression dead ringer comes from. And the people who used to be hired to sit in the graveyards and listen for the sound of that bell, that was called a graveyard shift.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been my job in the old days.
So I'm trying to get the moral of that tale. Does that mean if you don't perform, if you don't tour, you need to do that just to prove to people you're still alive?
Yeah. You got to stick around. I'm in show business.
Indeed you are. Any plans to travel to Australia as part of the showbiz business?
Oh, people talk about it. But I don't know. We haven't really gotten it all together here. I don't really have a sophisticated touring machine. It's a lot to get together to get down there. But we're working on it.
Tom Waits, it's a great pleasure to have you on Breakfast. Just before I go, do you have a view on the election result there in the US?
Oh, right. I've been watching a little bit, heard it on the radio. Looks like we have a lot more Democrats in the House of Representatives. That's a good thing. I think we've got a president who's emotionally disturbed and mentally ill. So any change is good.
Tom Waits, thanks very much for joining us.
Okay. See you, Fran.